How's it going, everybody? It's the Johnny Little Fox, and it's my channel where I talk about anime, video games, cartoons, most notably Sonic and Ninja Turtles. And today, if you read the title of the video, you know what we're going to talk about, and that's going to be about Dragon Ball, and of course, Akira Toriyama. So this video is a little bit unscripted. I have a few bulletin points so I can kind of stay in the frame of what I want to talk about, but this is completely just raw, unscripted and stuff. I like to like write out my videos and stuff to have a better concentration, but um, I just don't really I just wanted to just get it out there. I don't know how long this video will be once I finish, but but I'm gonna talk about it. But this is gonna be more of a story time and stuff. I'll tell you about my Dragon Ball experiences and stuff, like how I got into Dragon Ball and stuff, and my overall thoughts. I've come on my channel before. I've made videos where I've talked about Dragon Ball Z and what are my thoughts and stuff. If you know me or if you don't know me that well or my thoughts, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is not like my favorite anime per se, but it used to be at one point. I mean, it definitely used to be one of my favorite animes. Back when I was in like school and stuff. Back when I was like middle school, when I was in high school, which was like over 10 years ago. But I've been a fan for like probably like what almost 15, including this year. So yeah, almost 15 years since like 2009, 2010, around those years. But I'm gonna tell you the story in a second. But as you all know, I'm pretty sure everyone's heard the news, but the famous manga artist Akira Toriyama had passed away at the age of 68 and all that. I think I think his cause of death was what was it, subdermal hematoma and stuff. It's like some kind of blood clot in the brain or something. And like I think Akira Toriyama, he had like a tumor or something. I was reading on Wikipedia that he had like some kind of tumor, a brain tumor and stuff. That he had surgery or whatever on February. I'm not sure if he had surgery or if he didn't get it yet or whatever. Well, obviously he's not getting it now, but I'm not sure. Whichever the case, but he had a brain tumor, and I guess this happened where I think he might have hit his head or something, and then he passed away. Unfortunately, so I mean, I've definitely been hearing a lot of people pour out their thoughts and stuff and talk, fondly about Akira Toriyama. So I definitely want to, make this my turn and stuff, give you my thoughts and all that stuff, my input. But yeah, but I mean, the thing is, I mean, I don't think life and stuff is all that grim and stuff. I don't think that there's no purpose to doing anything. Um, I think that as technology advances, we'll definitely like overcome, certain things and stuff like that, like life extension and all that other stuff. But only time will tell. So I don't think that there's no purpose to doing nothing. Like just sitting around. What's the purpose of doing anything when we're all gonna? Nah, I don't believe in that. Or I don't believe in the whole YOLO mentality. You only live once. I don't believe in that. Okay. Um, but I also do favor life, and I do think it's precious, valuable, and it's something that it's like right. So like when I hear, especially when good people die, it's never really what I mean, like it's not really just something that I just like that I'm just like, yeah, it just rubs me the wrong way, of course, especially when it's people that in some kind of way hasn't excuse me, that has kind of like inspired you. So Akira Toriyama definitely, like he was a pretty decent guy and stuff. He's a good guy. Created like one of the most popular, or probably yeah, the most recognizable, one of the most iconic animes in the entire world. Everyone, if you know anime, you definitely know what Dragon Ball Z is. Okay, and of course, Akira Toriyama is the one who started it all. He's the creator of Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, but anyways, I definitely wanted to share a couple of my stories and stuff, and just just tell you what I think about Dragon Ball and stuff, and how I got into it. So let's get into it. All right, so mostly I kind of grew up in the 2000s and stuff, but even then, like like Dragon Ball Z used to play on like Toonami and all that. I'm not exactly one of those types that would be all like because usually those guys are probably in their 30s or not like 30s by now, but I'm not like one of those types that'd be like, man, I used to like come home after school and stuff to watch the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Not exactly me. I mean, around the time when Dragon Ball Z appeared on like Toonami, I was probably like daycare or something, and I didn't really have much care for it. So that's not where I officially got into the series or anything. Um, But I would say this: when I first got into Dragon Ball Z was probably when Dragon Ball Z Kai came out back in like 2009 or 2010, on Nicktoons. You know, where it used to be on Nickelodeon and stuff. You know, like the original Dragon Ball Z, the original like anime was on Cartoon Network. You know, Toonami, and then 2009. It was on like Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is like kind of like, think of it like a remaster of Dragon Ball Z of the anime, kind of like Sailor Moon Crystal, where it kind of follows more closely with the manga, whereas the anime has a few like just differences from the manga or a few changes here and there. Dragon Ball Z definitely had a lot of that in the anime and stuff. And to be honest with you, yeah, and it might have been like because of toy and stuff, but to be honest with you, it probably did flesh out the world a lot more better, and it's probably a lot more preferable. But Dragon Ball Z Kai, though, that was also a pretty good series too. Definitely follows like the manga to a T, and definitely if you watch the uncensored version, I haven't seen all of the uncensored version, but I've seen some of it. I was like, oh shit, this is a lot more vulgar and a lot more brutal than, well, yeah, a lot more vulgar and brutal than the censors thing that I was watching. I'll tell you that. Um, Even like probably a little bit even compared to the original Dragon Ball Z, because the characters were just straight up just cursing and stuff, talking about something, you bastard, or damn you, and stuff like that. I mean, I know they curse too here and there inside the original anime, but in Dragon Ball Z Kai, yeah, the uncensored thing, they didn't give a damn. But Nicktoons, I mean, or Nickelodeon, they obviously censored it and shit. So yeah. Um, but when you get the box set, though, yeah, it's definitely like that. Or if you watch it online, yeah, it's definitely pretty raw. But anyways, that's how I got into Dragon Ball Z, because I saw Dragon Ball Z Kai. Of course, some of my friends were into Dragon Ball Z. You know, they had trading cards and stuff. If you grew up in my generation, like the 2000s and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure everyone remembers Flash games and stuff. If you played Flash games and stuff, like, I guess, since I'm a Sonic fan, and a lot of my subscribers are Sonic fans and stuff, I'm pretty sure you guys know like Sonic RPG. If you play Flash games and stuff, or Sonic Final Fantasy, or hell, who else remembers Mario RPG? That was like literally Dragon Ball Z just done with Mario characters and stuff. Like Mario was Goku, Luigi was Krillin, Shadow was Vegeta, Sonic was like Future Trunks, Mecha Sonic was like Perfect Cell, and Bowser was like Frieza and all that. So essentially, yeah. So also like Flash games and stuff, or they'll take the sound effects from the from Dragon Ball Z and trying to like put them in the games and stuff, whether it's original or it's just a parody of something or whatever, you know, or like the animations and everything, or they'll make Flash, like I said, Flash games and stuff of Dragon Ball Z too. So yeah, I mean, so definitely the Flash games and stuff, Dragon Ball Z Kai, my friends, the trading cards and all that. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z had trading cards and stuff. I don't think it's a popular card game or anything like that, but yeah, they definitely do have some trading cards and all that. Um, I remember like back when I used to take Taekwondo when I was in like fifth grade and stuff. We would play like video games and stuff. We played like stuff like Mortal Kombat on the PlayStation 2. We played hell, I remember somebody had like Budokai Tenkaichi. I think they had 3 if I'm not mistaken. So we'll all play that and stuff, like all that stuff. Like we were into like, Dragon Ball Z, and we were into Mortal Kombat and all the other stuff, Street Fighter, Sonic, etc. Like it was the thing back then. So yeah, because of those things, that's how I got into the series and stuff. Um and then of course, like as I got more into the series and stuff, and like I got more access to the internet, I started to actually watch more of the original Dragon Ball Z, where I used to like skate around or jump around from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to GT and stuff. I had to piece together some of the storylines and the episodes and stuff like that, since I was doing all that jumping around. I remember one time, I can't remember if this is a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, but my nana, she had bought me like this copy, because I was asking her, because I was at the mall one day and I saw like this game, Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. That was probably my first Dragon Ball Z game, actually, or my first Dragon Ball game in general. And that gave me like pretty much the cliff notes of Dragon Ball, not as a whole, but pretty much the important parts like the Red Ribbon Saga and the all the way up to the King Piccolo Saga, which was perfect. Really gave me the story and stuff, how Goku met Tien and all that, King Piccolo, all that stuff. Like because of that. So it's a really good game. I definitely recommend playing it. The story mode is pretty awesome. It's a one player. And then, of course, there's an not an arcade. Well, yeah, there's an arcade, but it's also two player, of course. Because Dragon Ball Z has hella fighting games, so duh. But anyways, but yeah, so that was on the Wii though. Yeah, on the Wii. So yeah, and then I remember one of my friends, he gave me Dragon Ball Origins 2, which was pretty much just adapting the Red Ribbon Saga and all that stuff, and bringing Upa's dad, Bora, back to life. Etc. But yeah, like definitely the video games. And then when I first bought the Xbox 360 when I was a kid, or when I was in high school and stuff, one of the first games I got on there was Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit, which went up to the Cell Saga and stuff. That was my first like actual like Dragon Ball Z game, not like a Dragon Ball title, but Dragon Ball Z and stuff. And that was a pretty fun game too, and all that. But if I had to say like my favorite Dragon Ball Z games, I gotta say it's Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I've played 3 once before, but I've never owned it, or when I have, it's scratched up, it doesn't work or something like that. And I was like, because I remember one time my mom, I convinced my mom to buy it for me one day, and we found out that the shit was scratched and they didn't have another copy, and I was like, damn it, I could have had this game and played it, or I did, but it just didn't play, so that was jacked up. But yeah. But if I had to say my favorite Dragon Ball Z games, I gotta say it's Budokai Tenkaichi 2, and it's Raging Blast 2. I love Raging Blast 2. The Raging Blast series was probably to me the best of the Dragon Ball series and the Budokai Tenkaichi stuff. Okay, because I just love how you can fly, lock onto opponents. Just the play style of it, I just loved it and stuff. How you can freely transform, de-transform and stuff like that. If you want, you can start off in this form, that. I used to love that kind of thing. So to me, yeah. And then of course it can go up to certain things like Budokai Tenkaichi 2. That went up all the way from like Dragon Ball Z up to like GT. A little bit. I mean, it only had like a few GT characters, like I think it had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Omega Shenron, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then for some of the Dragon Ball characters, they only had Master Roshi and Kid Goku and stuff, which, goddamn, they made them play like ass because they couldn't fly properly. I was like, Jesus Christ, why'd you guys do this on purpose? Like, damn. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, but yeah, those games and stuff are pretty fun. Those are my favorite Dragon Ball Z games. I don't think I think I still have. Yeah, I do have both games actually. I just haven't. Well, I definitely haven't played Raging Blast in a while, and I haven't. Well, I have Tenkaichi 2 on the Wii, but I just need a working Wii because my Wii's broke, so I need a new one. So yeah. But anyways, but yeah, it's still a fun game though, like definitely really fun games. But yeah, so definitely with the video games and stuff, I love playing the Dragon Ball Z video games. Well, those games are my favorite. And then what else is there? And then the mangas, I definitely when I was a kid, my mom would take me to the library and stuff, so she'll always want me to try and get more into reading and all that stuff. But I would at least try to take a little bit of advantage of it and try to like read mangas and stuff, because when you're a kid, obviously you don't got money, okay? You rely on adults to get you stuff and all that, or like money you might have saved up from like your birthdays or Christmas and all that stuff to like buy stuff or whatever. But when you're a kid, obviously you don't got a job, so you don't got money, all right? But my mom, like I said, she would take me to the libraries, so I would try to take advantage of that and like get the comic books or the mangas and stuff like that they got there. Like I used to read stuff like Pokemon and all that. Yeah, the Pokemon Adventures, the manga stuff, which is in the kids section. In the teen section, they got the cool stuff, like they got the superhero comic books like Batman and Superman and all that. They also had like, of course, mangas there as well. Of course, like Inuyasha That's how I got into Ramna and Half and stuff. What else? They had, like, of course, Dragon Ball Z, or some Dragon Ball Z stuff here and there. So I would, of course, read that whenever I could, even though I know the story. Still, I mean, I would definitely love to read it there, you know. And a few other mangas that I can't really think of at the moment, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would just go to the library. So, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, definitely Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! R. But yeah. So I would definitely love to go to libraries and stuff. Like, my mom will take me. I'll read the books there. Or remember Mega Man Battle Network and stuff, how they had mangas and stuff? I definitely want to go back and reread those mangas and stuff and just see how powerful Battle Network Mega Man was, you know. But yeah, they had mangas too, and I'll read it. But yeah. But of course, you know, I would love to get Dragon Ball Z stuff from the libraries. And then, of course, I owned some Dragon Ball Z mangas too back in the day. I would definitely love to get like the 3-in-1 books, and I still actually have some on me and stuff. Like, I have the first one, which I kind of gave to my cousin, but I'm gonna have to ask for that back because my cousin, she loves anime, but she ain't really into Dragon Ball Z like that. So I'm gonna have to just ask for it back and just see if I can trade her or something or whatever in that place. But it has the first 3 Dragon Ball volumes. I think I have the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th volume. It has the 3-in-1, and then I have Dragon Ball Z, like the last volumes of the original Dragon Ball Z with you know, the Buu Saga and stuff, because they had a lot of good fights. I remember getting that when I was a kid because I was like, oh snap! It got the ending with Goku and stuff. It got the fight with Goku versus Kid Buu. The fight with Gotenks and Super Buu, fight with Gohan and Super Buu, Vegito, so on and so forth. Like, they have a lot of good moments from that, you know. But yeah, if I had a favorite saga though from Dragon Ball, from Dragon Ball Z, I don't specifically have a favorite saga that I can think of right now. My favorite villain inside Dragon Ball Z though is probably Super Buu. I love. And I mean, like, specifically Super Buu, like the muscular but kind of slim one, obviously. Not Kid Buu, but Super Buu, you know, when he was absorbing people and shit and was taking their powers like Gotenks and all that, and he became Buu-Tanks or Buuhan and all that. Yeah, that's my favorite version of Majin Buu. So I'd say, like, Buu is one of my favorite villains. Android 13. I liked Android 13. He would be like, he was a redneck and stuff, and he was a very simple villain. He's like, Trunks is like, you're just a slave to your own, you don't have a will of your own. And then Android 13 is like, will? What do you know about will, human? He's like, what have you done with your free will? War, racism, prejudice? Is that what you done with your freedom, boy? Don't you dare lecture me with your $30 haircut. Goku dies. Like, you know, I mean, yeah. But they had a lot of good and colorful villains from Dragon Ball Z. So, of course, you know. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, but definitely I love reading the manga and stuff, and like I said, since I have access to the internet, I'll be watching the movies, I'll be like watching the episodes here and there. Like I said, I'll be skipping around. I'd be on the Wikipedia trying to learn lore and all that stuff, you know. And of course, that's how I found out about Akira Toriyama, because I had searched him up, because I was like, man, who's the creative genius that created Dragon Ball Z? Or you know, like you'll be like that when you're into something and stuff. Like, I mean, like you'll be like that. You'll be like, man, who created this series that and this series this? That's how I found out about, of course, Akira Toriyama, Masashi Kishimoto, creator of Naruto. You know, Hiroshi Oda, the creator of One Piece, Tito Kabu, creator of Bleach, and so on and so forth. Or Hiro Mishima, the creator of Fairy Tail and stuff, you know, like, that's how I found out about those guys. And I was like, yeah, those used to be like some of my favorite animes and stuff back in the day, you know. I mean, Naruto is my favorite anime, but you know what I mean. But Dragon Ball Z, like, yeah, you know what I mean, like, yeah. And if you definitely want to know how everything started, I mean, everything started from, like, I guess, think of it like this. So we had Azuma Tuazaka. He wasn't the first manga artist or anything, but I would say he kind of popularized. He's the one that kind of popularized anime, sort of, with like stuff like Astro Boy and everything, because the manga artists in his generation were more so like inspired by like stuff like Disney, like not cartoons, but the animated movies and all that, like Snow White and so on and so forth. That came on in their days, and then they made some pretty cool stuff, and then we have Akira Toriyama's generation and stuff like Akira Toriyama, Yoshino Tagoshi, the creator of Sailor Moon. I cannot pronounce the name. It's Takachi. I don't remember how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry. I know her and the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. They're actually married. If you didn't know, a little fun fact right there. But yeah, in their generation, they created, like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho. There was Rurouni Kenshin and stuff. That was the 90s and all that, or like between the 80s and 90s and stuff. And then we had, Masashi Kishimoto, Iricho Oda, and Tito Kabu from the late 90s to the 2000s and stuff with Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo, and so on and so forth. And now here we are in this generation with My Hero Academia, Black Clover. I don't really like Seven Deadly Sins, but Seven Deadly Sins. We got Dr. Stone, Fire Force, and all that. Yeah, and most of those guys, like the shonen, like the entire shonen genre was inspired or revolutionized definitely by Akira Toriyama. It was popularized because of him, and probably even Yoshiro Tagoshi and stuff with Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. So yeah, or Akira and stuff, like stuff like that. Really popularized that, and shonen is like one of my favorite. I wouldn't even say it's one of my favorite. Shonen is my favorite genre when it comes to anime. Like, I love shonen animes. Yeah, I know it's a little stereotypical, but I mean, come on, it's supposed to appeal to the young male audience and stuff, and that's the kind of that's the kind of things that appeal to me. I love stories like that, But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. Then of course, I'm pretty sure everyone knows the famous death battle and stuff. I used to think like, oh snap, Goku's unbeatable, he's unstoppable, nobody can beat him. He always wins, he always comes out on top at the end of the day. Death battle when they released that Goku versus Superman. Man, remember when from Avatar and stuff? I know I just did an Avatar video, but remember from Avatar and stuff where like Sokka was all like, oh yeah, go Boulder, go. And then the Boulder's about to fight Toph, the, what was it? Toph was calling herself the Blind Bandit and stuff. And the Boulder was about to attack Toph, and then this man did a whole split. And the Boulder was like, wait, what? And then, yeah, like my look, like the look on my face was like Sokka's at that moment. I was like, no freaking way, Superman beat Goku. But anyways, yeah, but that's Death Battle though. But anyways, and then Battle of Gods came out and stuff. Goku got a new form, new characters introduced. That was probably the first time ever where something ongoing about Dragon Ball Z actually came out, apart from Dragon Ball Z Kai. But I mean, like something actually new in those years had came out for me. And then the movies were great, like Battle of Gods. Revival F was pretty interesting. Definitely did not like the ending, but it was an alright movie. But yeah, and then of course, we got the show, Dragon Ball Super. If you know me, I honestly kind of hate Dragon Ball Super, to tell you the truth. It's not a good series. Even the manga and stuff is not even that good. I mean, it's slightly better, but it's not that good, to be honest with you. I don't recommend it. But the original is Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball, well written, perfectly written. Okay, Dragon Ball Z has a few little road bumps here and there, but it's a good series. Okay, there's a reason why Dragon Ball Z is so popular. Okay, and then GT, I feel like a lot of people shit on GT, but GT, low-key, I literally have a whole box set. I even did a video talking about why I like Dragon Ball GT and stuff. Very underrated series. Okay, it's a very underrated series and everything. But yeah. So anyways, so Dragon Ball Super. I did like Dragon Ball Super, the Broly movie. That was pretty good. I actually like Broly's new story and everything, where they kind of humanized his character and stuff, and made him a lot more sympathetic. I kind of regretted not seeing it in theaters and stuff, because when I got it on DVD, I was like, you know what? I wish I saw this in theaters, because it was actually kind of good, Because, I mean, I was just like, they're just playing on fan service and stuff, and Broly's just going to be, fighting Goku and Vegeta. I mean, yeah, that was essentially the plot, but I really did like Broly's new story, though, here, compared to the original, which I'm not saying the original wasn't great. Of course, the original was great, but Yeah, but I think okay, Dragon Ball Super Bro. I like this direction of his character and stuff. Um, but anyways, but yeah. So anyways, as far as the current direction with Dragon Ball goes, um, I'm not obviously like I said, I'm not really too fond of it. I don't really like it too much. Personally, myself, I feel like Goku and Vegeta. I think I've said this before, but I feel like they should be shelved and stuff, or on the side, or at least make them reach this milestone and just pass the torch on to somebody else. Pass it on to like Goten and Trunks, or maybe Oob or something. Like Goku's student. But I'm just like, yeah, because I mean, well, because they already overutilize Goku and Vegeta to the max. Gohan, they bring him out on a rainy day or something. But to be honest with you, Gohan, I'm sorry to the Gohan fans, but he just doesn't hit. Like Gohan just doesn't really hit the same anymore. But I gotta say, like Goten, Trunks, and Oob, they still got some potential. And I'm like, honestly, make Dragon Ball about those characters. And I think they're sort of doing something like that, where they were giving some focus on Goten and Trunks, so that was kind of cool. But yeah. But do I think the series should end now that Akira Toriyama had passed away? No. I think the series should definitely continue and stuff. It's his legacy. Um, Definitely Dragon Ball Z and a lot of these other animes and fiction stuff brings people together and stuff, whether it be through fighting games, through just discussions online or in person or whatever, or hell, like I said, trading card games or inspiration and stuff. I'm like, hell, I'm an artist and stuff. And yeah, like I said, Dragon Ball Z, yeah, it inspired me and stuff. I mean, it inspired most of the stuff that I like Sonic. I'm a huge Sonic fan. Sonic's like one of my favorite franchises and stuff. Of course, Sonic is inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Of course, Sonic CD and stuff. It has that toy animation style with the animation or the with the opening and the ending and all that, or it was animated by Toei. I'm not sure if the OVA was as well, but yeah, yeah, it was definitely inspired because of that. Naruto, Naruto is definitely one of my favorite animes. Naruto is probably my second favorite anime and stuff. But yeah, that was inspired by Dragon Ball Z. One Piece, of course. To Love Ru and stuff. In case you don't know, for the real ones out there, Love Ru. That is some inspiration from Dragon Ball Z and Yorosei Yatsura. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. My Hero Academia, that's also inspired by Dragon Ball Z and all that. Street Fighter, one of my favorite fighting games and stuff, is inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Like, the lot of it. So, yeah, so that's just my thoughts and stuff about that. And this is all because of, like, all these memories I have is thanks to, like, definitely it all started because of one man. It's not just Akira Toriyama by himself or anything, of course. I mean, of course, he had editors. Of course, there were, like, actors and stuff, and there were his assistants. But it all, like, this idea got off the ground because Akira Toriyama was the one who took action and stuff. He was the one that went out there and was like, okay, I'm going to create my own manga, create Dr. Slump. Then, of course, like he created a prototype of Dragon Ball called Dragon Boy, I think. And then he was like, all right, I want to try something else, something a little bit, kind of similar to Journey of the West and stuff, which that's essentially what Dragon Ball was supposed to be, like a parody of Journey of the West, but it kind of branched off and developed his own kind of identity outside of that. Definitely, if you've seen Goku's old design, I gotta say this is definitely an interesting thing to me. Is that if you look at Goku's original design and stuff, Goku looks like a just complete monkey or a complete mini version of Son Wukong, basically, right? But pretty much Akira Toriyama scrapped that, made Goku more human-like, but kept the monkey tail and all that, and the power pole and the flying Nimbus. And then eventually, like Goku lost those things over time, where he doesn't have his tail anymore. He doesn't have his power pole, or his Nimbus cloud. Which, I mean, those are some things I kind of miss though. But still, Goku developed his own identity outside of that, and so did the series. It became a lot more than just a parody of Journey of the West, or you know what I mean? Or like, yeah. And I know Akira Toriyama also was inspired from movies and stuff as well. He loved movies. Obviously, the androids and stuff, they're inspired from Terminator and stuff. Master Roshi, Jackie Chan, because Akira Toriyama, he loves comedy and stuff. So, I mean, with the combination, like Jackie Chan is known for like being a martial artist, but also putting in comedy at the same time, that kind of thing. So, yeah. but those are my thoughts about Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. I'll try and do some drawings and stuff, in tribute to Akira Toriyama, because I'm also an artist as well. But I also wanted just to vocally put out my voice and just be like, just sharing my experience and stuff. Like putting a different spin on it. A lot of people, in case you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, like I said, Dragon Ball Z, it's not really one of my favorite animes like that anymore per se, but I still have respect, and I still have like the love is still there for the series. It's just like I'm not a fan of the current direction and all that, but I still think that it can still like pick itself up, it can still get better or whatever. But yeah, but anyways, but rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, man. Like yeah, it's just one of those things. Like man, like the internet is just like yeah, and but anyways, this is the Joni Level Fox, and I'm out. Peace, and until we meet again.